So, how do you handle kids right now that everybody's in a quarantine, they're home? In some places, like in Israel, you're not even allowed to go outside. Baruch Hashem, by me, we're still allowed to go outside. Not going to the park, but still walking around the street, I don't know, every so often, get some fresh air. The kids need it. Adults, sometimes yes, sometimes no, but kids for sure need to go outside a little bit. But in some places they can't. So what do? You have to understand. It all depends on your kids. Depends on how old your kids are and how developed they are mentally. But most importantly, you have to understand that kids are not like adults or teenagers that could just sit there, look at the wall, do nothing all day, or sleep all day. Kids have to be active. They have to do something. You have to occupy them. So you have to give them all types of tasks to occupy them, but kosher tasks. Now, if you followed already the first thing that we discussed in the beginning of the lecture, which is you taught them what's allowed, what's not allowed, and they know that there are certain things that are on the screen, on the phone, or on a computer that's allowed, and certain things not allowed. So that means that you can give them certain shows or programs or lectures to watch that are allowed. Don't ever give them freedom to pick themselves. You have to monitor it. You have to, as a parent, as a big brother, as a supervisor, you have to monitor it, and you have to allow the kids to watch something that's going to occupy their mind for a half hour at a time, 10 minutes at a time, whatever it is, some type of educational show, a lecture, something that's kosher, but kosher from Aleph Ataf. Not like, kosher-ish. Like, it has to be kosher. If it's about animals, if it's about Torah, if it's about Aleph Bet, if it's about ABC, if it's about math, all of these things are good subjects to teach your kids, and you can have all these wonderful programs. There's also a wonderful website called Torah Live. Torah Live is a fantastic website organization that has countless videos that teach Torah, but in a video format that many Jewish schools are adapting now, Baruch Hashem, and applying to the school curriculum. This is a fantastic tool for both schools and for parents to use to teach their kids different mitzvot. So this is something that you could have the kids watch, and it's about all types of things. The videos that I've watched have been fantastic, about tefillin, about Pesach, about the Shabbat Avedah, returning something that was lost, Kiddush Hashem, all types of videos they have over there. It's called Torah Live. Every video that I've watched so far from there, or from time to time, I get an email from them and I watch some of their stuff, and it's fantastic work. They have a new program that came out for Pesach. Really, really nice stuff. Point is, Rabotai, this is another tool that you could use to teach the kids Torah, but in an entertaining way. You should also teach them some math and some language from wherever they are. Kids are much more inclined to learn from videos than they are from books. In the beginning, you'd still have to teach them from books, though. You don't abandon the books, but you have to do a little bit of this. Okay, if you read one page, if we read together one page or one story or one parasha from the book, we'll watch the video. And you do a deal with them, but that's once they're developed a little bit, 6, 7, 8 years old. When they're 3, 4 years old, there's not much negotiating. Why? You pretty much tell them something they don't like, they start crying. So there's not much negotiating. So you have to work with them. You have to give them activities. Other activities could be puzzles. Have them, build puzzles that you could do on Shabbat even, or during the week, painting, drawing, all types of different exercises. You can even have them help you clean the house, even though they're not really cleaning because they don't know how to clean. They can pretend to clean, and you can pretend they're cleaning, but at least they're active. Keep them active. Don't just send them outside to play basketball and I'll see you at 8 o'clock at night. That's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for the kids, not going to be good for the parent. You have to give them activities that develop their brain and at the same time are keeping them, in the system. Don't just send them outside or to their room and just pretty much hope the day's over before too long. That's not going to be good. So there's some specific videos that you could educate them, or CDs that you could hear, lectures. Maybe they can watch me. I have some students that are 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old. Baruch Hashem, we have students at all ages. Parents send me the pictures of their babies watching my lectures. They're better than you guys. They're focused. They don't even fall asleep during a lecture. They're into the lecture. 2 years old. Shtabach Shimo, 7 years old. I got one kid who's already listening to me for 4 years. He started at 7, he's now 11. Talmid Chacham. So, point is, Rabotai, you have to give the kids some lectures. Sometimes they'll like me, sometimes they'll like somebody else. As long as it's kosher, you have to get them to watch it. Every day, there has to be Torah though. Kids must learn Torah every day. Must. Aleph Bet, I've recommended many times the program by Rabbi Gold. Rabbi Gold in Eretz Yisrael, he has a program, it's like $40. You buy it, download it to your computer, and it teaches you the biblical language. From the basics, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, all the way to Tav, to the Nikud. All of the little dots, and why, and who, and what, and how to build words. There are also similar programs in English. And I'm sure in other languages. The reason why I keep mentioning the other languages is because, again, it's if you're going to be living in this world, you're going to have to know the language. And so you have to have some basic language skills to know how to speak, to know how to communicate, to know how to eventually do your own things. It's not good for a person to be completely ignorant. You know, some people are in America for 20, 25 years, still don't know how to speak English. It's ridiculous. You should know. I'm not saying be an expert, be a scholar, or even write books in that language, but you need to have some basic common skills, even more so for your kids. I mean, it's so some language is important, but again, that's after you've done the basics like teaching them Torah and so on. Puzzles, games, painting, music, these are some of the things you can teach them. But the biggest thing of all, Rabotai, is to designate a certain amount of your time as a parent to spend it with them. Meaning, many times parents lose their patience with their kids, not because the kids are bad, but rather because the parents want to take care of the kids and their business at the same time. Take care of the kids and their other obligations at the same time. So in reality, they're in both worlds at the same time. The kid notices it and realizes the parent is not really into this activity, so he's not really into the activity. He doesn't want to do it either. So he starts acting out. And the parent thinks it's just because the kid is a bad kid or is spoiled, but it's not true. It's because the kid is simply a reflection of the parent. When the kid sees the parent's not really interested in this activity, in his drawing, in his painting, in his book, in his this, then the kid's not interested in it. So you have to designate a certain amount of time every day to just turn off your phone, put it somewhere else, turn off all of your obligations, whatever they may be, and spend a little bit of time with the kid, just with the kid. Doing the activity with him, doing the activity with her. And you'll see that the kid is much more into it. It can't be the whole day because you still have your responsibility, you still have to clean, you still have to cook, you still have to work and all that other stuff, but you have to spend a certain amount of time with the kid. You have to. Why? Because the kid has to know that these things are good. And the only way he's going to determine that is if you're willing to do them also. So that's difficult when you have a very busy schedule. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu made you less busy now. You're in quarantine. So that's another thing you could do, and I promise you that these things are not easy, but they work. They work. I see it from my own life, my own family. Baruch Hashem, I have a wife that knows all this stuff and does all of it, Baruch Hashem. But the point is that even for people that know it, it's not always easy, because sometimes you have health issues, you have financial issues, you have family issues, you have all types of distractions that make you forget or not remember some of these things. Point being is, it's always good to refresh yourself a little bit and try again. Most importantly, Rabotai, is that know that the kid, he's your product. He's your product. If you yell, he'll yell. If you curse, he curses. If you like Torah, he likes Torah. If you appreciate mitzvot, he appreciates mitzvot. So that's the point. That's what you have to understand. It's you have to educate by example. Next question.